No, what I was gonna say is as you get a little bit older in your career and you sort of find yourself being a guy who is almost a measuring stick in the league, how hard is that to, kind of mitigate the risk with, young guns coming up like a Wendell Clark, for example? What's it like having to go against a guy that is very hungry to make an impact?
Um, yeah, no, that's a fabulous question. I turned pro Flyers. I was 19, and every game was like the last night of my life. And it's out there, and at the time, I realized there's guys that are trying to get one more year in their career, and they were tough guys. And now, we're 20 pounds heavier than them, and don't care if we make it till tomorrow. And you say, and your day is going to come. Um, I would say that a lot of the tough guys fighters, a lot of the guys come in for 2 years. They can summon up the rage. They can be tough as shit. But after 2 years, for whatever reason, they lose that ability, the will to suffer, to summon up that rage, and they don't last. Like for example, Stan Jonathan was tough as hell, but and John Winsink um, and they just didn't last. And so my admiration is for guys like Tiger Williams because he played it tough as hell his entire career. Um, Terry O'Reilly, Paul Holmgren, Glenn Cochran. And how do you keep summoning up that rage? Because, like you say, the younger guys, it's easy, and now you're trying to do it one more time. And I think a lot of my rage was I absolutely couldn't stand being pushed around. I couldn't stand if my team was being pushed around, and I was terrified of someone putting a fist through my face. And over time, um, it's harder to summon up that rage. And the fights are so short, so violent. It's not like boxing. The second you can't summon up that rage, I think you're going to get the hell kicked out of you. And uh,
Mhm.
um, and then the other thing is, as you go on, and some days you say, man, you know, I'm hurt. And the one thing I can't do is I can't defend myself. I don't want to get in a fight tonight. And the next thing you're in a fight, and and I remember someone said I fought Wendell Clark more than once, but the only time I remember, I was sick as a dog and I had just no strength. And you're just trying to play a safe game and not kill your own team and don't have the energy to help your team win, but just don't kill your own team. And I get in a
Don't be
fight
a
with
liability.
don't be a liability. And you
Yeah.
sit there and say, don't get in a fight. And you just had, and it's funny in my mind, there's three fights that I was as sick as a dog. And I just no strength, no energy. One was against Wendell Clark. Once there was in Detroit against, I think his name was Paterson, and he
Joe
was
Patterson.
down. Joel Paterson, and he's on his knees, and he's covering up, and he's holding on to me, and I just couldn't break his. I was standing up and trying to get my fist free and start taking swings at a guy that's on his knees, which I thought would be fun. And I remember I just couldn't break his grip. I couldn't break his grip, and I was so embarrassed because Kurt Fraser's on the bench, and I was so embarrassed that Kurt knows I couldn't even break the guy's grip. And I can't remember the other time, but it gets harder because different things are going on, and
Yeah.
throughout your career, it's tough to you don't get to say, well, today I really don't feel good. So sorry, I'm not fighting. I'm not going to defend my team. And it's kind of like you're so hurt you don't think you can play, and the team says, well, we really need you. I go play, and then after the game, they yell at you and say, "Well, if you couldn't play, you should have told us." And you say, "So I
Yeah.
went through all that pain. I went through all that pain and prolonged the injury, so now it's not going to get better, and just to get yelled at." So, um, but that's what you got to do. You got to keep going. You got to keep fighting for your team.